Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I want to recount something that happened to me yesterday while I was riding my mountain bike. And this is not the first time this has happened. I swear on the Holy Bible, this has happened at least 4 times before that I could picture in my head. And there are so many similarities to the 4 previous times with different people. I'm riding my mountain bike. It's about 11 o'clock, and I go out about 5 miles. It's a secondary road. It's got a 1 lane traffic one way, 1 lane of traffic the other way with a double yellow line, then a white line and the breakdown lane and the guardrail. And on the other side, the white line, the breakdown about maybe it's probably about between 5 and 10 foot breakdown lane, depending on where you are, and the guardrail. Okay, so I'm riding in the breakdown lane. I always use my hand. I use hand signals. I'm 56 years old. At this point, I know what could happen. I've actually hit a car and gone over it before. I obey the traffic laws. But I got to be honest, when I'm coming back, there's a big downhill. And I get a rush. I do enjoy speed, So when I'm going down this hill, it goes down. And usually there's a rush of wind because it's in a valley. And I'm going against the wind going down. And then it goes up another hill. So I try to get as much speed as I can to go up the next hill too. So I'll duck down on the bike and go as fast as I can. I don't even hit the brakes. I just go down the hill. Probably about 30. I've had friends come up in their vehicles and ride alongside me. And they've clocked me at about 38 miles an hour. Between 35 and 40 miles an hour, which is fast for a mountain bike. Okay, so I'm doing this yesterday. Like I said, in the breakdown lane, obeying all the traffic laws. But before I even got to the hill, I was right at the top of the hill. And there's another road coming into it where you pull in. And I could see there's a white truck sitting there waiting to pull out. Now, he could pull out because I'm in the breakdown lane. This happens a lot. People will wait for me to go by. I'm not in the traffic lane. I'm in the breakdown lane. And I would rather that they just pull out and get in front of me. A lot of times they wait. And I guess it's, being courteous, but it's just, I would prefer them to be in front of me because they can't pull out. I'm not in the actual travel lane. But so I go by him and then I start going down the hill. And I could kind of sense, after riding a bike every day, you could sense the speed of a vehicle coming up on you, the sound of it and everything, how, if it's a truck, if it's a car. And I could tell this vehicle is going slower. It's pacing me. And sure enough, I see the bumper. He's probably going to 40, a little faster than me, 40, 45. And he's in the breakdown lane. He's only about a foot away from my handlebars. And I see the truck just go right by my bike. Now, this is dangerous. I have nowhere to go at this point. The guardrail's here, the truck's here. If anything comes up, I could either go under the truck or over the guardrails. If there's a pothole, if there's glass, if there's a branch in the road, an animal runs out, I'm done. So he actually moves. There's no other traffic, and he moves into the breakdown lane by about 2 or 3 feet. So his truck is in the breakdown lane, right next to my bike. He goes by me. I started laughing, and it's a kind of a unhinged laugh, because this has happened 4 times, at least 4 times before. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. There was something that must have triggered this guy, that he had to wait, or he thought he had to wait for me to pass. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this out. So he's endangering me. Not only that, I'm laughing, and I kind of wanted to see him laughing. And he goes by, and sure enough, to me, I started wondering if it was a woman or a kid. You could see the seats, and it was a white Chevy truck, and you could barely see the top of the head above the seat. And I could see him looking in the rearview mirror at me. So I knew this was intentional, and he's still in the breakdown lane. Not only that, he then jerks the wheel, jerks it back, and goes all the way into the breakdown lane in front of me, and then jerks it back. So it's obvious at this point. He's screwing with me. Okay. Now I'm angry, and I start waiting. Stop, wait, come back. And I'm still smiling and laughing because I need to know why they do this. I will just say that's what I wanted to ask him. I wanted to just have a debate with him. And it all of a sudden popped in my head that there is an intersection right at the bottom of the hill before it goes up. And there's a traffic light. And so sometimes I have to stop at this traffic light coming down the hill. Sometimes I don't. Depends if it's green or red. But it was red this time. And there was a car in front of him and a car behind him. So he was stuck at this traffic light. So I'm pedaling as fast as I can to catch up to him. I kind of regret doing this because I know it wasn't the right thing to do. I should have ignored this. I should have just gone on my way, being said. But I pulled out into the middle of the road. The cars turning and coming towards me are going around me. And I go up to his driver's side window, and it's down. What do you... there was a lot of expletives. I'm not going to include those in this conversation. I'm going to kind of just sum up what I said, what he said. There was a lot of expletives and loud voices. I'm going to kind of sum up. So what are you doing? You could have hurt me. You could have injured me. That's the word I'm going to use. And he turns, and this has happened before. It's always been a truck. Every single time, at least 4 times, it was always a truck that did this. They always did the same thing. They're all different people, all different trucks, but it's always the same. And then they jerk. 4 times this has happened. What is it about me? Why? Why are you endangering my life and limb? And he smiles like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then turns back like, "What?" Like ignore, like pretending nothing happened, And I'm like, "You could have killed me." He suddenly turns toward me. He goes, "You're not the king of the road." And I'm just dumbfounded. And I said, "I have every right to be on there. What did I do?" And he said, "You should be." This is what he said. He said, "You shouldn't be riding on this road. This road is for emergency vehicles and people coming and going to work. You should be out in the woods somewhere." I said, "I have every right to be on this road. And more than that, what you did was downright dangerous." And he said, "I have every right to go into the breakdown lane. My truck could have been breaking down." He kind of laughs. That would be his excuse. Now I'm standing in the middle of the road, and the people in front of me and behind me, the people going by, I look like the crazy person, kind of in the middle of the traffic. And they could tell that I'm kind of confronting somebody sitting in the truck. So he probably just looks like somebody going on his way, and I look like the crazy person. The light turns green. He starts to drive away. And he yells out the window, "What do you take off those gloves? It's not cold out. It's not winter," he says. "I'm wearing these gloves." What these gloves have to do, I'm wearing workout gloves. My arm's broke here, my wrist, it gives me, I shouldn't even have to explain this. I shouldn't, but it supports my wrist and the sweat, so my hands don't slip off the bars. I wear them all the time, right? So I'm left sitting there. So I go off the side of the road and I continue my bike ride, but I'm left thinking, what is it? What is it about me? Is it something that I'm not in work at this time? Is it my gloves? Is it that I'm on a bike? Is it a green thing? I was wearing a tank top. I was wearing a black tank top. I had a backpack on, my gloves, my cutoff sweatpants, and a pair of sneakers. And, for the life of me, the rest of the day, I'm trying to figure out what is it about. It's a specific type of male. This guy was probably around my age. I always think guys are older than me. And then I realize I'm 56 years old, and I'm probably older than them. It was a short guy. Probably a thinning head of white hair, a baseball cap on. No, it wasn't what you think. It was just a regular baseball cap, button-down shirt. I think. I don't know. And what is it? What is it about these guys that makes them want to endanger me? That enrages them? Like I said, I am completely in my lane, ignoring them, going about my business. It's always been a truck. It's always when I'm going down the hill, tucked down. I don't know if there's something about me. He thinks he's a hot shot going fast. I don't know. But it's happened for at least 4 times. I regret doing this. I always think it's better to just maintain and ignore, but it gets to a point, especially there were key parts that just made me so angry when he was looking at me and jerked the wheel just to make a point. that this was intentional. And when he ignored it, when he just looked at me, like, I'm like, oh my God, you're going to be such a wuss that you're not even going to acknowledge what just happened. You're going to pretend, are you kidding me? Just a minute ago, you cut me off, you intentionally did this. And now you're just going to sit there and say, hi, good afternoon, and pretend like, are you freaking kidding me? And then I get even madder when he actually acknowledges it, Oh, I forgot one part. He said, after he said, you're not the king of the road, I said, why would you do this? To teach you a lesson. To teach you a lesson. And then he said I should be riding in the woods somewhere. He told me to take off the gloves. It's not winter. I shouldn't be wearing gloves. So fashion police, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to stop going down that hill. I'm not going to stop any of what I'm doing. I have every right to do it. All right, maybe you guys fill me in. I don't know. To me, I just think it's some kind of toxic masculinity. Honestly, I really think that's what it is. I just look too. I really think I'm some kind of challenge to him, or something about the bike. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Have a good Thursday.